My child, before you scroll away, pause here for a moment. What you are about to hear is not just words. It is a reminder for the part of you that feels tired, overlooked, and uncertain about what comes next. You may have thought things ended too soon, doors closed too quietly, and prayers went unanswered. But what if none of it was rejection? What if it was protection you couldn't understand yet? Stay with me until the end, because this message may speak to the very place you've been trying to hide from the world. I saw the instant it closed, beloved. You prayed for that road, that chance, and that connection. You waited for it to open again, while standing in the corridor with your hands still outstretched, wondering what had gone wrong and why your compliance was followed by stillness. Perhaps you didn't offer up enough prayers, you thought. Perhaps you didn't notice the timing. Perhaps you didn't hear me correctly. However, I'm here to be honest with you. The actual reality, not the version you were given by shame. You failed, but it didn't mean a door closed. You weren't weak, stupid, or late, thus it didn't shut. I'm a good parent, therefore it closed. I noticed something ahead of you that you were not yet able to see, therefore it closed. I love you too much to allow you enter something that is half-baked, half-living, and half-lying, therefore it closed. Although you believed you had lost something, in reality, you had gained something. I do more than simply open doors, you see. I protect them. I do more than simply guide you. What will break you, I block. And sometimes my interruptions, rather than what I permit, show the most charity. You asked for favor in prayer. You prayed for a promotion. You prayed for a reason. However, I am aware that a favor without a basis will fall apart. Without planning, promotion will fall apart. Without presence, purpose will run out. I shut the door to keep you safe, not to punish you. You interpret the quiet as rejection, but I was actually rescheduling your excursion. You are placing yourself so that the door you are intended for opens with the appropriate covering, at the appropriate moment. Divine delay is not the same as divine refusal. Your narrative doesn't finish when I shut a door. It is your destiny's alignment. I am aware of the pain. I am aware that you shed tears. I am aware that you attempted to force the door open, repair it, and make it function once again. And it remained closed. That's like your leg, but it's like my love. You're not being penalized. You're under protection. The traps are visible to me. My child, every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. I overhear the discussions you were never supposed to hear. Behind the scenes, I observe the rooms. And youngster, if I'm shutting anything, it's because I have something better. Not a cheap replica, a redemption, a replacement, or a covenanted guarantee. But while your heart is still mourning the closed, I am unable to offer you the new. Come on, let me to gently remove your hand off the doorknob. I'll show you the way forward. Allow me to show you what I have been constructing. You didn't make a mistake, even if you believed I was quiet. You were successful. I'm okay, so the door closed. You'll witness the day when everything makes sense if you wait with me. Closed doors are not dead ends. So you'll stand on the other side of the yes and say, "Thank you, guide to the known." These subtleties are beautiful, and I'm accompanying you down each corridor until the appropriate door opens. Not only accessible, but magnificent. Oh, my dear one, I've observed you. Not only the daytime smiling version of yourself, but also the nighttime crying version. The one who no longer cries aloud. The wariness increased rather than the discomfort decreasing. The person who wipes away tears before others notice. The person who lets grief seep through your fingers like water, you can no longer contain when sitting in the vehicle, the restroom, the dark, and the silence. I witnessed every second. Every single tear was captured by me. You were never invisible, even when you believed yourself to be alone. You never shed tears of emptiness. Heaven heard your grief. And I, the God who weeps with those who mourn, collected all the tears and swore over them. We won't squander this. You see, I'm not afraid of grief. I'm not driven away by grief. I don't avoid sadness. I go inside. I stroll straight into your pain and sit next to you, without expecting you to get better or move on. Ying is not a result of pressure. It is a result of being present. And you've been surrounded by my presence. My hands have held you even when you felt it. I've been close to the moaning even while you were numb. I've been sobbing while whispering. And now, with all of heaven behind me, I say this to you. Your grieving process is about to begin. Change rather than vanish. Become productive instead of being forgotten. What used to tense you will now motivate you. The tears that nourished your desert are now giving birth to fresh life. I'm not asking you to put the suffering behind you. Please deliver that to me, please. To allow me to touch the unprocessed areas where stillness had taken hold, to allow me to speak. I'm not the God who tells you to go on. God says, I'm with you in it, and I'll walk you through it. I am the God who transforms ashes into beauty, tears into dance, hopelessness into fate, and your grief. To me, it's sacred ground because it shows that you were concerned. It indicates that you really adore it. It indicates that something was important. And I care about what you care about. I shall thus take your grief and relocate it. I'll take the pain and turn it into power. I'll use my sadness to help others recover. Your public testimony will now be fueled by the tears you previously shed in private. Others are being built by what broke you. What drained you is now empowering the exhausted. But don't keep your grief to yourself. Avoid hurrying past it. Don't downplay what you've carried. Give it to me instead. Put your tears in my hands. I'm transforming your personal suffering into a public good. I am transforming your holy grief into holy power. And I'm doing it right now, not tomorrow, not in the future. The movement has already started. The morning is changing. Even though the night may be spent crying, dawn is finally here, kid. This is the exact line. The pattern terminates when the cycle breaks. The voice of the terror fades. Your actions are no longer dictated by shame. It's not because you're weak, because you've been circling the same mountains. Rather, it's because the adversary was intended to give you the impression that you would never leave. You felt unworthy of crossing over as you stood on the brink of your vow. But I'm telling you now, firmly and definitively, that it's finished. It's a broken chain. The charge is dropped. The sentence has been flipped. And it didn't happen because of your efforts. My blood was involved. The lamb was the one killing. Mercy was the thing that spoke louder than guilt. I paid for this freedom with a love that will last forever, never wane, and never fail. Nothing more is owed to you. You don't have to punish yourself. You're at liberty. Now I want you to get up, not just physically, but also psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. I want you to fully embrace what I gave my life for. Salvation is not the only issue here. It has to do with freedom. It has to do with living freely. Free from the voice in your brain telling you that you'll never change because you're too mature. I am not waiting for you to be flawless. I am calling you as you are because heaven moves with you as soon as you move. You are free from the old agreements you made with trauma, free from the rituals of regret, and free from the prison of your own perfectionism. You don't need to feel whole to be holy. This is your Red Sea moment, and the waters are about to part. What? Don't look back. Don't bargain with the past. It no longer has any claim on you. As you walk, You'll notice that the horizon appears brighter, the weight is lighter, and the voice of shame grows dimmer. Why? Because you're no longer walking in chains. You are walking in covenant, my unbreakable promise. You are not defined by what happened to you, rather. You are defined by what happened to you on that hill, on that cross, and in that tomb that was unable to contain me. I overcame all that attempted to destroy you, and now I am proclaiming that it is done. That doesn't mean your journey is over. Rather, it means the part that was holding you back has ended. The night, the tears, and the waiting for permission are all over. I give you permission and the order to live like you're free, love like you're healed, and dream like you're unstoppable, because you are with me. Until now, take a step, run in the direction of grace. Run into the arms of purpose. Run into the land I've promised. The wilderness has shaped you, but it won't keep you. Don't just survive, thrive. Don't just whisper prayers of desperation. Declare promises of destiny. Don't just type through life hoping not to fall. Egypt taught you how to cry, but Khan will teach you how to dance. This is the pivotal moment. This is the day your spirit records as the shift. Write it on your heart. Engrave it in your bones. It's over, and you are free. No more hiding. No more dwindling. No more delay. Move forward, child. Everything you need has already been released. The heavens are open. The favor is flowing, and I, your God, am with you every step of the way as you embark on your new beginning. Now that you've declared it to be over, let me tell you what comes next. Harvest. I didn't bring you through this to leave you blessed and silent. Instead, I'm commissioning you to finance the freedom of others. This message isn't just content, it's anointing. And your giving keeps it flowing like oil from a jar that never runs dry. I promised in my word, give and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. What you give becomes firewood for the altar, where my presence meets broken hearts across the earth. Say it aloud in the comments, and let hell know that your silence is over. It's over, and I'm walking into freedom. This isn't just a sentence. It's a prophetic act. When you type it, you're not just taking part, you're prophesying over your own future. I'm watching every declaration. Heaven is recording every bold step. You're moving forward with me, so your shame and fear are gone. My child, pay attention to me. I need you to hear my voice over the cacophony in your head. For now, let everything else go. It's over. Stop. I see you. I see the crazy race you run every single day. I know you do it when you lie awake at night. Your mind turns into a courtroom where you are both the prosecutor and the defendant. Your heart is racing before your feet even touch the floor in the morning, and your mind is already calculating, worrying, and bracing for impact. So hear me now, my love. Stop. Stop replaying those conversations in your mind. You analyze every word from that disagreement with your loved one, trying to figure out what you could have said differently. You hear your boss's dismissive tone or a coworker's cutting comment, and you play it back 100 times, each time creating a new wound. You are looking for a different solution, a way to win a battle that has already ended. Let it go. You will not find the validation you seek in the echoes of the past. I am your vindication. Let go of the words that have bound you. They have no power here, not in my presence. Put them down. You must stop this never-ending, exhausting quest to prove your value. You secretly think that if you just put in a little more effort, accomplish a little more, or improve a little bit, you will be sufficient. My child, you are chasing a whisper of approval when I am shouting my love for you. Your worth is not a wage to be earned. You work hard at your job, hoping for that recognition that will finally make you feel secure. You give your all for your family, hoping they will see your sacrifice and value you for it. Your life is a blur of alarms, deadlines, and notifications. You rush from one task to the next, driven by caffeine and anxiety. With a schedule so full there is no room to simply breathe. It is a gift I gave you when I formed you. It is settled. It is not up for debate. You have nothing to prove to me other than from the performance. I command you to stop the pace that leaves no room for my peace. I am here in the stillness you have been avoiding. You are afraid that if you stop, everything will fall apart, but in reality, you are the one falling apart. Do you not feel that constant low hum of stress in your stomach? That is not from me. It is the sound of a soul moving faster than the speed of grace. Pause now. Breathe in. I am the one who keeps everything together. Let my tranquility serve as your life's new rhythm, a steady, leisurely cadence that soothes your soul. And please let go of this overwhelming need to know every answer. You are attempting to map out the next 10 years, but you can't even find peace for the next 10 minutes. Your thoughts are entangled in a maze of what, ifs and hows. What if you don't succeed? What if you make the wrong decision? How will you deal with the future? My dear, these are burdens you weren't meant to bear. The future is my domain. Your focus should be on today. Walk with me, have faith in me, and pay attention to my advice for this one day. It is over this delusion that you can control the uncontrollable. Give up your desperate need for assurance and fall into the security of my sovereignty. I know the way. Just take my hand and let me guide you. Lastly, you need to take a break from the tiresome task of upholding appearances, such as the brave face you put on and the forced smile you give when your heart is aching. I see right through the casual, "I'm fine," you say when everything inside of you is screaming for help. You are so tired of being strong, and you are tired of maintaining a facade that gets heavier every day. My child, it is over. Stop. You don't have to pretend in my presence. You can be broken, and I will support you. You can be a mess, and I will see you as my masterpiece. You can be weak, and I will be your strength. You can be a mess, and I will see you as my masterpiece. Stop now, my child. Just stop. Now that you have stopped your frantic striving, let's talk about the noise inside your own heart. Let your true self be seen here with me, because the real you is the one I have always loved and always will. It's the loudest and cruel of all. I'm talking about that unrelenting voice of condemnation you carry. It's time for that to stop too. Quit punishing yourself for sins I've already forgiven. I see how you do it. A flashback to a previous failure comes to mind. It's the lie you told, the trust you betrayed. I am the judge of all creation. The gavel has already fallen, not with a crash of condemnation, but with a quiet final whisper of mercy. You carry your past mistakes like a heavy sack of stones, pulling one out every now and then just to feel its weight and remind yourself of your unworthiness. And you immediately sentence yourself to another round of guilt for that moment of weakness you are so ashamed of. And when I look at you, my verdict is final, written in my son's blood, not guilty, forgiven, fee mine. So why do you keep putting yourself on trial again? Stop listening to that inner critic that repeats the lies of the enemy. You know the voice I mean. It sounds suspiciously like your own, but it speaks with the accuser's venom. That voice is a liar. He is a ghost haunting the halls of a past I have already redeemed. When I forgave you, I did not simply wipe the slate clean. Instead, cast your sins into the deepest part of the sea and posted a sign that reads, "No fishing." It tells you that you will never change. If they only knew what you did, you don't deserve to be happy. The shame you feel is a phantom. It has no substance and no power unless you give it power. Turn your back on it. Deprive it of your attention. It cannot endure in the light of my love. Nevertheless, you stand at the water's edge with your fishing pole, attempting to drag back to shore the very things I have thrown away forever. My child, We are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit our Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. I need you to stop using your past failures to define your entire present. You view your life through the lens of your worst experiences, and you let one chapter of failure become the title of your entire narrative. For example, you think you are unlovable because you failed as a spouse, or you think you are a failure because you made a poor business decision. Your identity is not in what you have done, but rather in what my son has done for you. His sacrifice was not a band-aid solution, but a total identity transplant. He took your record of sinner and gave you his record of righteous. Because you battled an addiction, you think you are forever tainted. This is a grave mistake. This is a spiritual fact, not an emotion. When I see you, I do not see your sin. Instead, I see my son's righteousness enveloping you like a royal robe. Therefore, cease introducing yourself, even to your own heart, by the name of your previous shame. That person is no longer with you. You are a new creation. The old has died, and behold, the new has arrived. My dear, let's talk about your hands. Look at them. They are clenched so tightly, white-knuckled from the strain of trying to hold your world together. You think that you are the one who must orchestrate every outcome. Let this be my truth. Let it be the truth that silences every other voice. Accept it now. Let this war within you finally be over. You spend your days organizing every piece on the board, but you are unable to see the entire game as I do. You attempt to predict other people's moves. You manipulate every detail and secure your own future. This too must end. It is over. Stop trying to be me. Your hold on control is an illusion, and it is wearing you out. The future is in my hands, not your worried grass. You are trying to build defenses against every potential threat. You are trying to force a certain outcome in your career, relationships, and finances. You are trying to steer a massive ship in the middle of a hurricane with a tiny rudder, and you are wondering why you are so scared and seasick. Do you really think that? Or do you think I've somehow forgotten about your life? Do you think I'm a far-off, preoccupied God who needs you to handle the details on my behalf? I see the uncertainty at work. I know the bill that's due next week. And I know the health issue you're too scared to talk about. I am aware of the path your child is taking, so none of this surprises me. I was in your tomorrow before you even woke up this morning. Your desperate attempt to control everything stems from a fear that I won't deliver for you, which is a vote of no confidence in your Creator. Therefore, I invite you to open your hands and give me your plans, timelines, and specific expectations. Feel the tension release. This is not a sign of surrender. Rather, it is an act of deep faith. It is realizing that the master weaver is far more familiar with the pattern than the thread. It is overcoming the overwhelming burden of attempting to be your own provider and protector. You lie awake at night not only replaying past conversations, but also practicing future ones, making plans for how you will support your family in the worst-case scenario, and devising strategies to keep them safe. I am Jehovah, your banner of protection, and I am Jehovah, your provider. Did I not make a way through the sea, feed a multitude with a boy's lunch, and close the mouths of lions? Your resources are limited, mine are infinite, and your strength has a limit. You bear the burden of being the only source of security for those you love. The beginning of your genuine rest is when you trust in my sovereignty. When you stop wondering, what if I can't? Your eyesight is blurred by worry. Mine sees with perfect clarity from beginning to finish, and begin proclaiming, I know he can. This is the point at which you give up the arduous endeavor of constructing your own kingdom on shifting sand. and let me establish you on the firm foundation of my fidelity. My child, let's talk about the hunger in your soul. You have been trying to satiate this hunger at the wrong tables, seeking validation from sources that will always run dry. Let go. Let me have the reins. Watch what I can do with a life that is fully surrendered to me. The peace you crave is on the other side of this surrender. This desperate search must end, because it is already over in me. Quit trying to fill a void that only my love was meant to fill. You post a picture of a happy moment on your phone, not only to share the joy, but also to gauge your value based on how many likes and positive comments it receives. You scroll through other people's lives on your phone and experience a familiar pang of comparison and inadequacy. You work for your boss's approval. You alter your personality to fit in with a particular group of friends. You chase after material success, thinking that these things will finally fill that emptiness. But it is like trying to quench your thirst by drinking salt water. The joy of the moment is stolen by the anxious waiting to be seen, to be approved of. The more you drink, the more thirsty you get. Human applause is a transient echo. Likes on a screen are pixels, not presence. The world's success is a transient trophy that will eventually gather dust. None of these things can ever satiate the eternal longing I placed within your heart. A longing for me. You're trying to find a limited solution to an endless need, but it won't work. Your desperate quest for acceptance has come to an end here in me. You've arrived. You're at home. You don't need to perform. You don't need to oppress. You are already fully accepted in the beloved. So stop evaluating yourself based on these erratic and flimsy standards. Do you realize that your value was irrevocably established at the cross? My son stated, "You are worth dying for," when you were still damaged, lost, and causing chaos. That value cannot be increased or decreased by any social media measure, job title, bank account amount, or human opinion. It was paid for you, and it's the biggest price ever. So let this reality to seep into your bones. Allow your soul to be adjusted. And now pay serious attention to what I have to say. Over the cacophony of the throng, hear it. Over your phone's quiet. Over the persistent voice of insecurity. You are visible to me. I see you when you're giving it your all, and when you think you've completely failed. No one else can see the intents in your heart, but I can. I see your quiet prayers and your secret tears. You are well known. I am aware of the inner desires you have never ventured to express. I am aware of your innermost interests, aspirations, eccentricities, and worries. You don't know yourself as well as I do. You are also very much liked for who you are, not for what you do. This is your genuine and everlasting validation. My dear kid, let that be sufficient. My dear kid, let it be everything. Let's now face the challenge that most embarrasses you, that constant struggle with sin. I watch you struggling, clenching your teeth, and overcome with a tired feeling of dread because you anticipate failing. You see this struggle as a last-ditch effort against a much powerful adversary. That viewpoint has to shift in the modern era. The conflict has ended. Give up fighting like you're doomed to fail. You hate that habit, that urge that appears to control your will like a vice. That behavioral habit you detest yet keep going back to. You battle it like a lone, struggling soldier on the losing side. You're battling a ghost. You are battling a shadow. The triumph of my son on the cross was not a short-term ceasefire. It was the last, decisive strike that disarmed the forces of evil and changed the course of history. He meant it when he said, "It's finished." I have decisively won the battle for your soul. You're not battling to win. You are in the midst of a triumph that has already been secured for you. Consider it this way. Your adversary resembles a roaring lion. Yes, but he's toothless. He has the ability to roar. He is capable of intimidation. He is capable of lying and making threats, but he no longer has the ultimate ability to ruin you. He is a vanquished enemy. At the resurrection, the bonds he had previously bound you were broken. So why do you continue to give him the shattered bits and let him put them around your wrists? You are now a child of virtue, rather than a slave to sin. Slaves are forced to submit to their master. However, you are now free. My family has adopted you. You've been bound by your own nature. Your master is no longer sin. He is trespassing on someone else's land, which makes him an outlaw. You are no longer a part of it. Consequently, stop believing the falsehood that you are unable to resist temptation. The enemy's preferred and most successful deception is this one. He speaks to you in a whisper. You are unable to refuse. You are exactly who you are. This is how you will always be. And you give up before the battle even starts if you believe him. However, I have surrendered my spirit to you. You are possessed by the same spirit that brought Christ back to life. Do you realize how powerful you are? You cannot summon this ability on your own. You always have access to my heavenly power. Thus, you should resist temptation like a helpless victim. Get up and use the power I have given you. Because he loves you, you are more than a conqueror. A conqueror is more than simply a fighter. They break new ground. They uphold the triumph. My child, this ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. Speak my message to that old longing as it arises. Tell the truth. In Christ Jesus, I am alive to God and dead to sin. I am no longer under the control of sin. In a cosmic game, you are not a defenseless pawn. You are my child, armed and a threat to the kingdom of evil, sitting in paradise beside Christ. Live like it, talk like it, and walk like it. Today's struggle is about knowing that I have already won, not about attempting to win. We have just severed the bonds of a lifetime of conflict, my kid. Don't leave me right now. It would break my heart to see you return to a jail whose doors I have just shattered for you. To stop listening is to pick the shadow of a struggle that has already been won. There's so much more freedom to come. My dear kid, stay with me. Let's discuss the burden you still bear. Your soul's unseen ledger. You act as if you are deeply in debt. Additionally, you attempt to make payments on an account that has already been settled during the day. This has to stop. It's finished. Give up attempting to pay for items that have already been bought. You are visible to me. You attempt to atone for your mistakes by becoming very excellent. You attempt to balance the scales by doing deeds of service while you are experiencing the pain of previous guilt. You are putting up endless effort to settle a debt that no longer exists. Pay attention to me. You could never pay the cost of your salvation for all of your sins, past, present, and future. Silver or gold were not used as payment. My son's priceless blood was the cost. A payment so flawless and comprehensive that it permanently closed your account. No more installments are available. There aren't any additional costs. No equilibrium remains. He fully settled your debt when he offered his life. It's finished. Imagine a court document, a certificate of debt that enumerated all of your offenses and the reasons you were found guilty. I swear that this certificate, which was affixed to the cross, has been removed. Success. The same nails that held your Savior punctured every accusation against you, publicly and irrevocably canceled. The case against you has been concluded. All accusations have been dropped by the cosmic court. You're free. It owes it. The enemy's effort to collect your debt by coming up at your door with fake documents and attempting to persuade you that you still owe is known as guilt. However, he is not legally entitled to you. You have to quit falling for his fraud since he is a con artist. Penance or self-punishment is not anything you owe him or anybody else. Therefore, I implore you to stop letting guilt imprison you in an open jail. As I stand at the open door and beckon you out into the brightness of my grace, I watch you torturing yourself while sitting in the dark dungeon of remorse. Because you believe you don't deserve it, you are scared to go out. You're correct too. You don't. It is termed grace for this reason. This favor is unfair, unjustified, and unmerited. It's a present. Furthermore, the only appropriate way to react to a gift is to accept it with open arms and gratitude, rather than attempting to pay for it. You insulted the gift when you attempted to win my forgiveness. You suggest that my son's sacrifice was insufficient, and that your nice deeds are required to finish it. His job was flawless and finished, my kid. Nothing else needs to be said. I thus give you the order to accept this free gift of grace now. Give up trying. Give up attempting to earn it. Give up attempting to earn it. Simply accept it. Let go of the bulky sacks of self-loathing you've been carrying. Feel the warmth of my welcome as you leave that open jail door. The invoice has been settled. The debt has been canceled. You're free. Live it up. It has finally come to an end. Let's talk about who you think you are today, my kid. You are visible to me. Despite all we've spoken about, we're still attempting to bring a deceased person back to life. That has to end now. Give up trying to bring back the person you were before you really met me. That individual, who was motivated by insecurity, constrained by previous transgressions, and characterized by dread, was crucified alongside Christ. He is a spiritual historical fact. Your previous sinful nature was imprisoned by the same nails that bound him to the cross. Your previous existence was buried in the same grave that contained his corpse. And he didn't return with the old you when he got up. It was left in the grave by him. So I have to ask you, why do you visit a body in the cemetery every time? You are no longer that version of yourself. Look, I've transformed you into something entirely different. You still wear the outdated labels from those familiar, realistic, worn-out garments. You tug on the label of unworthy when you don't succeed. You envelop yourself in the persona of rejection or pariah when you're lonely. You wear failure like a thick cloak when a plan doesn't work out. These designations are no longer relevant, my kid. They are falsehoods from the past that don't belong to you. I've taken them away from you. Your citizenship has been transferred. Imagine having a passport from a realm of darkness that is stamped with all of your humiliation and failures. That passport has been canceled and burned. A new passport for the kingdom of light has been granted to you by me, and I've personally inscribed your new identification on it. It has the words, forgiven, chosen, righteous, and loved. I thus give you an order to stop using a name that I no longer refer to you by. You will still be referred to by your previous names by the adversary. From across the street, you will yell things like addict, hypocrite, and failure in the hopes that you will turn to face him. Don't satisfy him. You are no longer that person. You are my cherished kid. As a royal priest you are, sacred and reserved for my needs. You share Christ's tears as an heir to the throne. This isn't a metaphor. Your new reality is this. It's my child when I call your name. It is the one I adore. It's my masterwork. Start responding to these names. Allow them to permeate your heart from your mind until they define every thought and every response. I want you to declare out loud, no, that is not who I am. I am a child of God. This is not arrogance. Whenever you feel inclined to see yourself through the prism of your previous weakness, walk in it. My darling child, I see the landscape of your heart, and I know there are still places covered in the fog of grief. I am not blind to your losses or deaf to your weeping. It is alignment with my truth. The struggle to be better is over. The reality of who you are now has begun. Grief is a necessary value and the sacred space of sorrow. But I never meant for you to build a house and live there forever. The time for weeping has passed. Stop dwelling in the deep sorrow of a chapter I have already closed. The relationship that was broken off. The season of life that ended. The loved one you miss. I collected every tear you cried. I am the God who transforms grief into dancing. I am the one who takes the ashes of your terrible loss and transforms them into something beautiful. You keep reading that painful chapter, hoping for a different ending, but all it does is reopen the wounds that I am actively trying to heal. It is an act of spiritual archaeology, unearthing a past that should be left to rest. Music, your winter season has fulfilled its purpose. It has made your heart tender and taught you things you could not have learned in the sunshine. You must be willing to believe that a new season is possible. A farmer does not mourn the winter forever. He knows it is a necessary prelude to the spring. But spring is here. I'm doing something new. Can't you see it? Look up from the ground of your grief to the horizon I'm painting for you. Can you see the first shades of color? Can you smell it in the air like fresh earth after a long, cold rain? That's the smell of hope returning and new life. This does not imply that you forget what you have lost or denigrate the suffering you have endured in the past. Rather, it indicates that you are choosing to believe my assurance that your future will be more powerful than your past. It means that you are making the decision to live, cease reliving a loss, and begin looking forward to its restoration. Cease discussing what was taken and begin announcing what is coming. I am offering you this joy now, but you must open your hands. You cannot accept the new thing I have for you if your fists are still clenched around what is gone. Let go of the ashes. My joy is not the absence of sorrow, but the redemption of it. It is a joy that has scars, a joy that is deeper and more resilient because it has known the valley. Let me give you beauty instead. Let go of the spirit of despair. Let me wrap you in a garment of praise. Your official mourning period is over. Get up, my child. It's time to see the sun again. It's time to live again. Let's talk about your eyes, my child. I've noticed where you fix your gaze. Rather than looking ahead at the special and sacred path I have created for you, you are continuously looking to your left and right. This needs to stop. When you scroll through the highlight reels of other people's lives, you compare your own behind the scenes reality to theirs. You see their new home, their spiritual breakthrough, their picture, perfect family vacation, their promotion, and the sneaky poison of comparison seeps into your soul. I need you to understand that comparison is the enemy of contentment, and that I did not create you to be a cheap copy of someone else. With every look, you either feel a sense of pride and superiority or a sense of envy and inadequacy. Both are toxic and steal the joy I have placed before you. You are a one-of-a-kind work of art, and the narrative I am crafting in your life is unlike any other. Would you condemn a rose for not being a towering oak tree, or a mountain stream for not being the vast ocean? Each has its own glory, purpose, and distinct beauty. So why do you criticize your own journey? Because it does not resemble another. You are evaluating your development based on a benchmark I never established for you. You're competing in a race you weren't supposed to be in. It's a race of rivalry and jealousy, with no finish line that will only leave you exhausted and unhappy forever. I'm formally yanking you out of that competition. And from now on, I want you to keep your eyes on me. Stop staring to your left and right. I am the author and performer of your faith, not them. Their journey is between them and me, and your journey is between you and me. If you are always focusing on what other people have, you will miss the particular custom-made blessings I am putting in front of you. You will be too preoccupied with coveting their manna, to notice the daily bread I have given you. I want you to start celebrating the story I am writing in your life. Even the challenging and perplexing parts are giving you a strength, compassion, and depth of character that you could not have acquired in any other way. Your path has been carefully and lovingly crafted to mold you into the person I intended you to be. To embrace your own story, water your own lawn, appreciate the progress you are making with me, no matter how tiny. The freedom you will experience when you let go of the burden of comparison will be enormous. At last, you will be able to be the version of yourself that I have always seen and loved. Now, my dear, we must touch a sore and inflamed spot in your heart. It is a place where you store past transgressions and harbor resentment. You cling to these painful memories, believing that you are defending yourself or even exacting revenge on the person who wronged you. But in reality, you are drinking poison and hoping that the other person will suffer as a result. The cycle of resentment is over. Quit clinging to transgressions that are poisoning your own soul. You carry that memory of betrayal in your heart like a hot coal, burning only your own hands. You keep repeating their words and deeds, and each time you do so, the wound gets deeper, and the chains of resentment get stronger. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the prison cell you have built for yourself, and I command you to use it. It is a paradox that you cannot comprehend with your mind, but only with a surrendered spirit. The freedom you so desperately seek is found on the other side of releasing others. And before you tell me that their transgression was too serious, and that they don't deserve your forgiveness, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the unfathomable, astounding, and incomprehensible forgiveness you received from me. I have forgiven you a debt of 10,000 talents, which you will never be able to pay back, and you are holding a fellow servant by the throat over a debt of 100 den, which is insignificant in comparison. I gave my son for you while you were still my enemy. Did I demand that you earn my forgiveness? Did I wait for you to be sufficiently sorry? My forgiveness was a free gift, and I call you to give the same gift to others. Stop replaying the hurt and trust me with vengeance. You are not their judge. I am. Give the case to me. When you forgive, you are not saying that what you did was acceptable. Rather, you are saying, I will no longer allow what you did to control my heart. You are not the one who will bring perfect justice. I am. As long as you attempt to hold both the offense and the role of judge, you will not have peace. This is your act of freedom. True liberty is not found in being right, but in being free. You must prove your case, have your suffering acknowledged, and see the other person pay. Let it all go. I understand your suffering, and I will take care of the justice. It is your responsibility to obey and forgive. It is a choice. Release them. Let them go. The court case in your heart is dismissed. It is finished. Beloved, we are at the most sensitive region of your heart. This may be the most difficult decision you have ever made, but it is the one that will take you out of the darkness of bitterness and into the wonderful light of my peace. My child, if these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's word with countless souls around the world, cleaning out the deepest poisons of the past. Please don't leave me here. To stop talking would be to invite the infection of bitterness back into a wound that I am desperate to heal. My heart aches for your total wholeness. Follow this path with me, my child. Pay attention to the chaos in your mind, the never-ending frantic whispers of what if. Fear is a cruel director that makes you watch a horror movie in your head, starring everyone you love and everything you hold dear. Fear has become the background noise of your life, a persistent low, grade static that steals your peace and drains your strength. I am here to cut through that static. Stop practicing worst-case scenarios. What if I lose my job? What if this pain in my body is something serious? What if my child makes the wrong decision? What if I wind up alone? You let these thoughts take you hostage. Let them run amok and create horrifying monuments to a future that doesn't exist. You are suffering in your imagination from tragedies that are probably never going to happen. I want you to know a basic truth. I have not given you a spirit of fear. It is not a gift from me. It is an alien spirit, an unlawful intruder in my child's soul. Instead, I have given you a spirit of power, love, and a sound, disciplined mind. Fear is the antithesis of all three and leaves you feeling helpless. Worrying is like trying to solve a complicated algebraic equation by chewing on a pencil. It is a frantic, wasted energy that does nothing but exhaust you and dishonor me. It separates you from love and breaks your mind into 1,000 anxious pieces. Worrying does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow, but only today of its strength. You serve me, the Prince of Peace, not the tyrant of terror, so you must make a decision today. The reign of fear in your heart is illegitimate. You must dethrone fear. It will not go on its own. You must command it to go in the authority I have given you. It is a declaration that you believe your what-ifs are more powerful than my I am. This is an active, conscious battle. I want you to deliberately put your faith in me. Stop putting your faith in the worst-case scenario and start putting your faith in your good shepherd. When that anxious thought arises, you must stop it at the door of your mind. Do not invite it in for tea. Do not entertain its arguments. Instead, you must take it captive and make it obedient to Christ. If this message spoke to your heart even a little, don't keep it to yourself. Someone out there is waiting for the same reminder that you just heard. Share it with them and let them know they are not alone in what they are going through. And if you want more messages like this, stay connected. Like, subscribe, and be part of this journey. Because this is not the end of your story, and you are not walking through it alone.